Until now, every AI response we received was just a plain text. It looks nice, it reads well, but as Java developers, we cannot reliably parse it. We cannot validate it, and we definitely cannot trust it in production. So the big question is, how do we make AI responses behave like real Java object? In our last couple of videos, we talked about basics of Spring AI and how to call an LLM using chat client. Then we talked about prompts and prompt template. In this video, we will learn how to structure AI output using POJOs in Spring AI so that the response you get is not just text, but a strongly typed Java object. Welcome everyone to our YouTube channel, The Code Karma. We are once again going to continue our exploration about Spring AI. Spring AI structured output converters help us to convert the LLM output into a structured format. Before the LLM call, the converter appends format instruction to the prompt, and this provides explicit guideline to the model on generating the desired output structure. These instructions act as a blueprint shaping the model's response. After the LLM call, the converter takes the model output and transforms it into the instance of the structure type. Spring AI provides three different types of converters. The first one is bean output converter, and as the name suggests, it maps JSON to custom POJO or Java records. The second one is list output converter, which extract a type list of items. The last one is map output converter, which is a mapping for key value pairs. Now that we understand the basics of a structured output converter, let's jump in and start building the code. I'm heading over to start.spring.io to create a new Spring Boot project. For this project, I will select Maven and Java. Next, I am going to use Spring Boot 3.5.9. I will change the group ID as dev.codekarma, and the project ID we are going to call it as Output Converter Service App. Rest everything else I can leave as it is. I will move to dependency sections and I will add Spring Web because we are going to build RESTful services. Next, I am going to select OpenAI. That's all we need to get started. I will click on Generate. I have opened our project in IntelliJ IDE. Now let's just imagine that you are building a YouTube recommendation search. This search takes input as artist name and gives top 10 most popular YouTube songs of that artist. This problem reminds me exactly what we built in our last tutorial. So I'm quickly going to open the project and give you a recap. So this is the prompt template we created, and the prompt was list 10 of the most played YouTube songs along with their genre for the artist. And if you do not know the answer, just say I don't know. So this is what we built in our last video. I will quickly copy this method and I will also copy the configuration class. First we are going to test and then we will see how we can apply structured output converters. Okay, so I have copied the config, which is creating the chat client. This client is responsible for sending prompts to OpenAI and receiving response back. Then I went ahead and also copied the get mapping that we created in our last video. I'm going to run our project and first we will see how this get mapping is behaving and what is the output we are going to get. So let me click on start. Our application has started. So I will move to Postman to test this API. Okay, this is our endpoint and I'm going to click on send. So after a while, I got the response and here is the list of 10 most played songs by this artist. So far it looks good and we are getting our output as expected. But what if I want this output in a list format or a plain Java object? And this is where the power of a structured output converter comes into the picture. I'm going to implement another get mapping that is going to return me a list of songs. So I will copy this implementation and let's say find popular songs by artist in list format, and I will change the endpoint to /list. We need to provide what exactly will be the format that we want. So I'm going to provide the format. So I will say to the prompt, here is the format, and this format we can provide as part of prompt template. Let me create a new list output converter, and I'm going to extract it in a variable. Now I can pass this converter to prompt template. So I'm going to pass one more key that will be format, and in this case I'm going to say list output converter format. So now this prompt understands that it has to return a list. Okay, let me also change the return type as list of a string. Now let me extract this to a variable. So I'm going to remove this return and then I will call it .var. I will call it output. Now we can convert it using list output converter. So I will call list output converter.convert and I'm going to pass the output. That's it. And this should give me a list of 10 most played songs of the artist. I'm getting this error. Okay, so I need to return this. So this is good. Now I will restart the application and we will test it one more time. Our application has started, so I will move to Postman to test this method. And I'm going to call artist/list format. So here is our response, and if I go to preview, I can see that this is actually a list. This looks good, but what if I want this to be a record type or an object? In that case, our bean output converter comes into the picture. So let's go ahead and convert this output to an object type. Again, I will copy this same method and we need to change the return type to object, and I will call it bean format, and I will also rename this method to bean format. But this time I want more information. I want information about the genre, the lyricist and the composer of the song. So I am going to change this prompt and I will say list 10 of the most played YouTube song for the artist along with their genre, lyricist and composer. If you don't know the answer, just say I don't know, and here is the format. To represent this object, I'm going to create a couple of records. I'm going to create a new package and we call it data. And inside this package, I'm going to create two records. The first record will represent the artist. I want two attributes in this record and it will be artist and list of song. So let me go ahead and create one more record called song, and I will add the attributes. I need title, genre, lyricist and composer. This is what I need from the LLM. Now instead of this list output converter, I need an instance of bean output converter. So I'm going to comment this out and I will create a new bean output converter, and I want artist.class. And also let me extract this to a variable. Now with this bean output converter, I can say bean output converter.get format, and here also I am going to say artist bean output converter.convert, and our code is ready. I am going to restart our application. Okay, so our application is started successfully. So I am going to test this bean format endpoint. Finally, after some thinking, we got the response. This looks great. We got our object and here is the songs, which gives us the information related to title, genre, lyricist and composer. Now instead of this bean format, if I want a map format, then also I should be able to retrieve, right? Therefore you have map output converter. So I will move back to our code editor and I will copy this method. I'm going to say map format, and here also I'm going to change it to map format, and I have changed the return type as map. Let me comment out this bean output converter and I will say new map output converter, and I will extract it to a variable. Let's pass this map output converter and get this format, and while converting I will again use this map output converter, And this should be our overall change. Let me restart the application. Our application has started. So once again, I will move to our Postman, and here I am going to say map format. Here we go. We got our output in the map format. So we have seen how we can get the output in different formats. And this is pretty much what we are looking from these output converters. So let's talk about some benefits. The first benefit is we are getting a strongly typed response, and it provides a better reliability and predictability. This is more suitable to enterprise application, and it's easier to integrate with REST API and databases, and you can easily improve the validation, error handling, and testing also becomes easier. So to conclude, a structured output converters turns AI from a text generator into a reliable Java services. That's why it is a big deal in Spring AI. This helps you moving from unpredictable text response to a clean, type-safe Java objects or record. If this video helped you, like the video, subscribe it to the channel The Code Karma, and I will see you in our next video. Happy coding!